Hey, good morning. So I am about to make kombucha. I kind of put out there, if anyone is interested in learning how, I've got this plethora of scobies to make kombucha, and I'd be happy to give any of them away if anybody would like some. So as I'm in this process, I thought I would just shoot the video, and there's a lot to this. I had to go undo some lights in my kitchen. It's just this blaring light in this little space, so there's a lot that goes into this. I will do my best. I just want to give you the information. So what I'm starting with here is, like I said, a whole plethora of scobies. This is what I call my SCOBY hotel. It looks pretty nasty, but it's really cool. The reason these are called scobies, it's actually an acronym for a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. This is essentially what cultures the tea. You're going to put in tea, you're going to put in sugar, and sugar provides the fuel for the bacteria to essentially ferment and create that awesome drink we call kombucha. There's a lot of variables and things that you can do to change it up, but this is just kind of your basic how-to. So this is what I have right now for my continuous brew, which means I'm not brewing it in a 1 gallon jug and then putting it in bottles. This is about 3 gallons, and it has a spout on it. It also has a lid, which I really dig. So this is nice because you're not having to rotate it all of the time, and you can go out of town and leave it for just a little bit, and it's not going to create an issue. So this is the vessel that we're going to be making the kombucha in. I'm going to brew it in a gallon jug and show you that, and then I'm just going to add that tea to this and let it ferment in here. So as you siphon off, say you siphon off a few bottles, you'll just want to replace that amount in the top with a new brew of tea. So pretty easy. So you'll need a SCOBY, you'll need tea bags. If you do get tea bags, get the tea bags that don't have the staple in them. Make sure they're all paper and they are hopefully organic. You don't want anything that's got like oils or flavors in it. You want to just get like a plain black tea. I go to Dixie Nutrition where I'm at and I get loose leaf tea. I really like those. You can buy it in bulk. And you don't have to worry about the tea bags, but you do have to grab some of these muslin bags to put it in, which they work just fine. So in here, I've got about 1.5 tablespoons of just plain black tea, and then I've got about 1 tablespoon of jasmine tea. Jasmine tea keeps things a little sweeter. You can kind of experiment with the teas that you use. I really like a green tea blend too with the black tea. So for this, you're going to have a cup of sugar and 4 to 6 tea bags, or 1 teaspoon of loose leaf tea equals about a bag of tea. So you can make it stronger if you would like. Again, just there's kind of a starting point so that you can get familiar with what you're doing and how your brew tastes and what you like. So you'll put the tea in the tea bag and get yourself 4 to 6 cups of water boiling. An important thing to note right here is that you would like to sanitize all of your equipment because it could interfere with the culture. So soap is out. If you do use soap to wash your things with, get a vinegar rinse. I like to take this spray bottle, it's just a small one, and fill it up with water to about here, and then white vinegar up to here. So once I wash out my vessel or whatever things that I'm using, I spray it down with the vinegar, and then I give it just a little quick rinse off, and that will take kind of the soap residue out of there, and it won't interfere with any of your cultures. You'll do that with everything. Either use wood or stainless steel as far as something to stir it. If you're going to put anything in there or scoop any of the scobies out, that's a really good idea. You have to remember that these are live cultures, so they're little life forms, and they need some love and care too. And whatever kind of energy you put into your brew is the kind of energy you're going to get out. So just love them while you're doing it. All right, so as far as a gallon jug or vessel goes, I go to Costco and I grab this big thing of pickles, and then I ditch the pickles and I wash out the vessel. You may have to do it a couple of times, or soak it a little bit with vinegar so that you kind of get the pickle smell out, but it's worth it. You don't really need a lid. You can put a paper towel with an elastic band or some cheesecloth over this because you do need to have a little bit of airflow. You don't want to seal tight. Or you can buy them on Amazon if you wish, but this is a lot cheaper. You can start here. No excuses. All right, so I've got my water boiling already. I got some handles here. All right, so clean and sanitized vessel, your choice and amount of tea, 4 to 6 cups of water. Hopefully this will be. Okay, right there. Put that in. You're going to let this steep. In addition, you're going to add the sugar. I like to use an organic cane sugar. This one happens to come from Costco. It's just your Kirkland brand. But it works and it makes me happy. I do need something to stir with, which I forgot. So step away for a moment while I have this. So I'm using this stainless steel spoon and I'm just gonna spray it down with vinegar and rinse it off really quick. Okay, so stir the water until the sugar dissolves. It's looking good. And then you're going to let this steep for about 10 minutes. I just cover it with a plate. That works just fine. So once this is steeped, you're going to add clear, clean water. And you're going to leave a little bit of room at the top. I like to leave a couple of inches so that you have room to add your starter liquid. And your starter liquid comes from your previous brew, or if someone's giving you a SCOBY, they'll probably give you a little bit of that liquid to go with it. So you'll want to keep always a cup at least of starter brew with your SCOBY to go ahead and do the next round of kombucha. Whether you're making it in a little gallon jug like this or a big gallon, just keep that reserve. If you have a hotel, then you're always going to have that. I like to add a little bit of the tea to my hotel just to keep it up because your SCOBYs are going to multiply. You're going to start to see a film form on the top of your brew while it's culturing, and that's the next SCOBY. So don't worry about it. Just check it, and if there's any mold growing, which isn't likely, then you'll want to toss it. But just watch it, and it should form this kind of a thick thing. And I'll actually grab a SCOBY to show you. This is the one that has formed on the top of this one. It's nice and thick because I was out of town. And it smells vinegary. The longer you let it brew, the more vinegar smell it has. But this is the SCOBY. Okay? It's kind of slimy. This one's nice and thick, but it starts out really, really thin. Okay? And you don't need a lot of SCOBY to do this. Like, I could probably cut this in quarters at minimum, and you would have a really good SCOBY start. So I'm just going to put that back in there. All right. So like I said, you're going to go ahead and let this steep. Fill it up. Then you're going to add a cup of starter liquid to that and just cover it with a paper towel, and a rubber band is pretty much the easiest way. And I like to date it with just a little, you can write on the vessel or you can write on the paper towel. So tea, fresh water, 1 cup starter liquid, SCOBY, paper towel with a rubber band. You're going to let this brew for 7 to 10 days. Now, if you're getting to about 7 days, you would stick a little straw, up underneath the SCOBY and taste it. If you like that flavor, then you're ready to go. You can take it out and put it in jars or however you would like to consume it. I like mine to be a little more tart sometimes, so you can go 10 days, and it really depends on the temperature of your home. So the warmer your home is, the faster it's going to culture or ferment. You do want to keep it out of a direct light source, and you want to have good airflow, so don't like stuff it in a box somewhere. Just kind of watch it. It's really fun to watch it grow. It's a really simple process. This is just kind of the basics here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this with some cool water, put the SCOBY and the starter liquid in so that you can actually see that process. I know sometimes people are visual learners, so I'm going to fill this up really quick. Alrighty, so about there is good. You'll also want to use a liquid measure for anything that's liquid, and the dry measure obviously for anything that's not liquid, like the sugar. So I'm just going to siphon off about a cup of this to put in here to show you for video purposes. I'm actually going to add this whole thing into my big vessel. So there's the starter liquid. You would put a SCOBY in there. Boom. Get your paper towel. Cover it, date it, and let it sit. Now I left the tea bag in here because of time frame, but of course you would take that out before you add the SCOBY and the starter liquid. So basically, in a nutshell, there you have it. That's your kombucha. If anybody has any questions, feel free to message me or leave a comment, and I would be happy to get back with you. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this to my big vessel and get on with my day. So thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful, and we'll catch you guys later.